Guys, welcome back to another I was about to mess up my word, but I'm not trying to do that. I'm not really enjoying the lighting on this, but that's just because it's really dark and I'm having to have my light on full blast, so I'm not enjoying this. I feel like I'm having I don't have to rip these nails off because I have had them on for a while, and if you follow me on my Instagram, you know what they look like and what I'm talking about. I got such bad dry skin with one finger, and I don't know why. Let me show you now. Actually, they're like these pretty little they have like butterflies. I think you can make it out. Yeah, they have these like pretty little butterflies, but it's so cute, right? Oh my god, Patricia said they're ugly as hell, but I think they look amazing. So yeah, this is what happens behind the scenes, by the way. Like, this is literally what happens. I get distracted and I never get to the point of the video. But yeah, and this is gonna be such a weird moment in the video, but please, this is just what happens behind the scenes when I film my videos. So, gosh, I'm gonna cringe at this at like some point in my life. I'm gonna look back at these videos and just be cringing my ass off, because the one thing you should know about me is that when I film these videos and I upload them, I never watch them ever again because I know how painful and cringy they are. And I know I'm gonna look back at this moment and be like, what the hell was I talking about? But I know at some point in the future I am gonna do a reaction to my own videos, and it's gonna be the most funniest and hilarious thing ever. So yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to another brand new video. Today is an update video where I basically talk about, what's been happening, basically. And honestly, I don't know where to start, because when I woke up in the morning and I was like, okay, today I'm gonna film a video for you guys, I was thinking like over and over, like, what really has changed in my life? Like, I mean, except for like, Monday, I'm gonna be starting my new job, so. But yeah, I am kind of nervous about starting my new job on Monday because I don't know, because when I did go there, like, for the first time to basically meet the people, it was pretty like overwhelming, because it was a pretty like fancy but very like big like place, and I'm basically working for Citibank, and basically all my role is gonna be is like setting up food, making sure that the customers who come in have a nice experience, and making sure that they're okay, and that if they need anything, kind of thing. But yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. It's just setting up like meeting rooms, putting food and drinks out, making sure that the customers are happy who are coming in, having meetings with the bank people and stuff like that. And yeah, that's all I'm basically doing. And the thing is, to be honest, yeah, I'm happy that I have a job, but then at the same time, I don't feel like I see myself doing that forever. Like, I feel like that's something that I'm gonna get very bored of very quickly. And the thing is, I'm a type of person where I can't stay in like one place for too long. Like, I have to move around, like, I don't know how. Yeah, I do apologize, like, as usual on this channel, the camera cuts out and I'm here apologizing, but I do apologize, this is gonna keep happening. That's why I need to get a new camera. But yeah, as I was saying, like, I'm a type of person where I can't stay in one place for too long. Like, I need to move, I need to do things, and just experience new things. Like, I move kind of thing. But yeah, and the thing is, I still have a dream of like being a tattoo artist one day. Like, I still wanna do what I was born to do, and that was doing art and you know, creating pieces that I'm proud of and I know that they have a meaning to them, and you know, all these little things. Like I still want to be a tattooist. I still want to be able to create a beautiful piece for someone that, you know, means, you know, the world to them, you know. And like every time I, you know, see someone with a tattoo, I'm always like, oh, you know, what does that tattoo mean to you? Because there's never been once a person on this planet who has a tattoo who, you know, where the tattoo didn't mean something to them or it symbolized something to them. Like, never. I know there's
some people who are like, oh, I just got it for fun, like, you know.
and it's like, okay. And then there's like so many people out there who, you know, get that, like tattoos, say, of their uncle who's passed away, and you know, they get, you know, like there's always a meaning behind someone's tattoo. And yeah, and I mean, when I get a tattoo one day, I'll insert a picture of what my tattoo's gonna look like. You know, I'm gonna have it on my arm, but what that tattoo basically means for me is that, you know, when I was a little girl, I didn't exactly have a lot of friends. And so, you know, and not even that, like in primary school, as I was saying, what was I saying? Oh yeah, what I was saying was in primary school, I did used to get bullied a lot. I did get bullied in my first primary school for simply being a redhead, which is not something that I can easily help. This is just a hair that I was born with, and honestly, I'm not ashamed of it or embarrassed of it, because at the end of the day, it's hair that's covering my head. You know, it doesn't mean anything. I'm just fortunate enough, or I just ended up having this hair, but that's not how it came across to these people in primary school when I was getting bullied and stuff like that. And when I did move from that primary school to a new primary school, I again still got bullied. To this day, I still do question, like, why did they bully me? Like, I know at my first primary school it was because of my hair, but at this second one, it was like they didn't bully me for my hair. It was more of like they didn't want to know me, or if I tried to take part in, like, you know, class activities, they didn't want me part of it, and I would always be like sitting on the side just like watching them. And I do remember this one instinct where we had PE and I wanted to take part, and I forgot what it was. I think it was rounders or something. And I remember going up to the big kid, like he was a big kid, right? And I remember going up to him. I was like, "Can I go first? Like, can I, you know, join your team or whatever?" I said, and he was like, "No, just, you know, go sit on the side, like, you know, blah blah," like just pushing me to the side. And so that's what I did. I just left the group. I went and sat on the side of the field, basically watching everyone play. And I remember just like sitting there and crying, and, you know, feeling like I felt like a sore thumb. Like I just felt like I, you know, stuck out and no one wanted to. Yeah, as I was saying, like I just stuck out as a sore thumb. Like no one wanted to be part, didn't want to know me basically. And so I would just kind of just sit there and watch half the time. And so I feel like I'm getting a little sidetracked, but yeah, I used to get bullied, and that's what that tattoo symbolizes for me. Because when it was lunchtime or break time, I used to go and play in this like little I'll call it like a little mini forest, because that's what it was like. It was like a little mini forest. Like you had the playground, and then on this side here, this very tiny side of the playground, you had this like little forest area with like trees and wildlife and all that. And so that's where I used to go and play. I used to go and play with like sticks and twigs and, you know, different bugs and creatures and stuff, until one day I stumbled upon a very interesting creature that, you know, had a shell, had 2 eyes, was slimy and this and that, and I was very fascinated by it as a little kid. As you would do when you're a little kid, you would get fascinated by like little weird little things. But I remember I used to make like these tiny little houses for them, because there was always this one spot that they used to always go and hang out at, or where I used to always find them. And so I used to make like little houses for them to, like, you know, live in or whatever. And I remember one time I got a takeaway container and I brought one into the classroom, and I begged my teacher for me to keep it in the classroom. Don't know why. I was just a little kid. But I went into the classroom. I was like, Miss, can I keep it in the classroom? Like, you know. And the thing is, she was the best teacher ever. She was the most sweetest teacher ever. And I always had somewhere to go when the kids didn't want to play with me, or if I was by myself. Like, she was always the teacher I used to go to. So yeah, like I was begging her. I was like, Miss, can I keep it in the classroom? And she was like, yeah, sure, just keep it at the back. Like, make sure it doesn't escape or whatever. Tell me why I thought paper was the best idea to keep, you know, what do you call it? Is it crash reports? No, it's not crash reports. What do you call them? I'll just call it a mammal, because I mean, I know it's probably not called a mammal. No, I don't know. But tell me why I kept this little creature in a container covered with paper, thinking that it would keep it in. Like, I had sellotape, like I made sure the whole thing was sealed, and I did make sure that the container had holes so it could breathe. Because I'm not a harsh human being. I understand these creatures need to breathe also. But yeah, so I kept it at the back of the classroom, and when I went to go and check, I noticed how it was eating paper. Now, the thing is, I did have a giant African snail as a pet, but this is like a few years ahead. This is not when I was a little girl. This is like a few years, like say like 2022 or this year. I had a giant African snail, and the one thing that these creatures love doing is they'll pretty much eat through anything. So they'll eat through paper, they'll eat through, yeah, they'll eat through paper actually. I don't think they can eat through plastic. No, yeah, they'll eat through plastic, because there was a time where, you could say I had a bit of sellotape on the side, or, you know, I can't remember the situation, but I just remember, like, my African snail decided to eat through the sellotape. So this is the thing with these little creatures, they would pretty much eat through anything. Except for like wood or metal or glass or whatever, that's, you know, that's fine. But my voice is going. But they'll pretty much eat through anything. So when I went and checked on it, it was pretty much eating through the lid of the container that I kept it in. I don't know, you know what, when I think about it, I don't know how I didn't get sick, because I was just a little girl with very, very little experience with these little creatures, and I don't know how I didn't get sick or whatever. But yeah, that's basically why I'm getting a tattoo, because that tattoo symbolizes for me, you know, when I was a little girl, you know, I didn't have a lot of friends, and that was my only way of making a little friend. And then not even that, like, they also symbolize, you know, just slowing down in life and just, you know, taking your time, you know, like, don't rush, you know. And the little shell also, like, symbolizes, like, the universe, like how the universe is, like, in, like, a spiral, like, it always repeats. Like, you got life, death, and reborn, and that's what the shell kind of, like, symbolizes. That's why it's always, like, in a swell shape. But there's so many different, like, meanings to that type of creature. And for me, I feel like it's perfect, considering how, you know, I always want to move around and rush life and do this, and that's what that tattoo symbolizes for me. It's just to slow down and take it easy and just, you know, like, slow down, you know, like, you don't need to keep rushing. And, you know, and the thing is, I'm a bit of a, like, heavy believer in, like, you know, the universe having its I guess influence, if that's the right word, in, like, certain parts of my life and anyone's life, and why things happen, because, you know, the universe made that happen. It's putting it there in front of you for a reason, or, you know, like, the universe has its effect, you know, and that's what I believe in. I believe in, like, the universe, and not even that, like, I'm also, like, spiritually a believer as well. Like, I'm a spiritual believer, and yeah, and that's why I'm getting that tattoo, because that's what that tattoo basically symbolizes for me. And yeah, so Monday I'm starting my new job, and I can't wait. Friday, tomorrow, I'm gonna get my uniform. I'm hoping that I'm wearing trousers. If I'm not, oh boy, because the thing is, it's not the type of weather at the moment to be wearing skirts, and I don't want my legs to be turning red or you know, me freezing my butt off. So I'm hoping that I have trousers, but yeah. At some point, once I do get comfortable with my workplace, I will maybe do a vlog on it, on this channel, about, you know, a little bit about, you know, what I do, what my life is like at work now, and this and that. Like, you know, as soon as I start work, I don't think I'm gonna have much time for YouTube, but I will try to upload as much as I can. But yeah, that's basically what's happening. Now, I did say in my other video that I was gonna talk about the fight that I had, because I was thinking about it for a good long while after I did film that video of, you know, whether I should talk about it or not. And I'm starting to think that maybe I can, considering this girl doesn't, you know, go to the school anymore, and I've never seen her face in my entire life. Never seen her face. You know, ever since that incident happened, I've never seen her ever again. So I feel like, you know, it's safe for me to talk about, considering, you know, I'm not going to expose like her identity or anything. I'm simply just going to talk about the situation. And I really do need to get a new camera, because this camera cutting out is really going to like drive me insane. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm simply just going to talk about the situation, and then that's it, because I really want to get this off my chest. I know this is a weird way of doing it, but yeah, I mean, but yeah, so how the fight started was, this happened in summer. I forgot, what month was it? No, I forgot what month it was, but I know it was in the middle of summer, and it was a very sunny, hot day, and for some reason the teachers decided that we were all gonna go outside and do activities, because I used to do Tuesday, Thursday. Yeah, I think I used to do Tuesday and Thursday. So when I came in on a Tuesday, you know, that's when I found out that we were going to do activities outside. And so that's what happened. Now, fast forward, right? Well, not fast forward, but like from the beginning, I did notice this new face in the school, or, you know, outside and stuff. I did notice this new face. Now, when I saw her, I did have bad feelings about her, and there was a point where she came up to me and we were like talking a little bit. It wasn't nothing like, you know, mean or anything. It was just a tiny little conversation, like, you know, when you bump into a stranger, like, oh, how are you, and this and that, you know, it was that type of conversation. So she came up to me while I was just standing there watching everyone, because I just didn't want to take part. I'm not a sporty person. Like, I'm not an activity person. I'm a person who just likes to sit on the side and watch. Yeah, I was that type of person. So I was standing there minding my own business. She comes over to me, she stands there, you know, she's like talking to me a little bit. I give her a tiny bit piece, like, acknowledgement that yes, she's there. And then she compliments me and she's like, oh, do you work out? I'm like, no, I don't work out. And then she's like, oh, you have a nice body, by the way. Like, I really need to like hit the gym or something like that, right? And I'm like, oh, thanks. And she said, no problem, no problem. And then I think she went on to talk about how, you know, she needed to hit the gym and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I don't know what to say to that. Like, I'm not, you know, that's like a very dangerous conversation to go into, because I feel like, because knowing me, I'm not smart sometimes when I say some certain things. Like, it may come across like offensive or whatever to some people. And so that's when I decided at that moment that I was gonna like slowly walk away and pretend that, oh, I'm gonna go and take part now. But I wasn't. I just wanted to get away, because I was like, what do I say to that? And yeah, I walked away and I was like, okay, like that. And then I just carried on. Fast forward now, we're playing rounders, right? I have these two friends, right? So me and my other two friends, we go and, you know, stand somewhere. At some point, I did tell the teacher how I didn't want to take part, like I didn't want to play because I wasn't doing anything. But then she kept encouraging me to go and play. So I was like, okay, whatever, right? I'm not going to argue with the teacher. So I go and I basically stand whatever, right? split moment, right, I wanna make this clear. In this split moment, I didn't know I was in the way, right? I didn't know because so at this split moment, I didn't know I was in the way, right? Because where they were playing, you know, I didn't think I was anywhere near, you know, their game, but apparently I was, and I wasn't aware of it. So I'm standing there watching them. You know, the ball comes my way a few times. I try to go and get it, but yet again, there's this really tall guy who runs faster than me, gets the ball every time. So then I'm like, okay, well, the next time the ball comes my way, I'm just gonna stand there. And mind you that my friends are standing with me, so they're not like spread out or anything, they're just standing with me, like on the side here, and I'm just standing here with my arms crossed, like just watching the game. Now, this is where everything starts going downhill, because little did I know I was winding someone up, or I was pissing someone off, or whatever, right? So I'm standing there, and this girl comes up to me, and she's like, oh, are you playing? And okay, I know people are gonna hate me for what I said, but the thing is, I didn't mean it in a bad way, and I don't think at the time I was like using my brain. Like, I don't think, you know, I was thinking before I speak kind of situation. Because I turned around and I said to her, oh, whether I'm playing or not, you guys are gonna lose. Why did I say that? Why? I don't know. Because I'm dumb. And so she looks at me after I said that, literally with a look like this. She's like that, and then walks off. And then I see her like, you know, what's that word? Or whatever the word is, right? I see her walking to her friend, right? And she goes and tells her friend. And then I see her friend get, like, she looked like her friend was getting pissed, right? After she said that. She was like, so then I see her friend, right, getting pissed. And I see her at one moment, like, because I was watching her, like, on the corner of my eye, like, I was watching her because I knew what I said was going to piss someone off, right? Because I was thinking in my brain, like, why the fuck would you say that? And then, you know, when I saw her go and tell her friend, and I saw her friend go like that to her friend, and then she comes stomping over to me. Not stomping over, but like, you know, marching over to me. And she's like, oh, why the fuck would you say that? Like, what's your problem? And this and that. And I'm like shouting, because I'm like, hold up a minute. Like, you know, don't come up shouting to me like that. And, you know, like, when you're coming up shouting to someone, don't be surprised, or, you know, that they're going to shout back. Like, they're going to obviously shout back because that's how you're coming to them as. Right? So she's coming to me and she's like, oh, like, what's your problem? Like, you're not going to play, you know. She did say the F word quite a few times, but she was like, you know, fuck off, this and that. Like, you're not going to play, just da-da-da. And I'm like, at one moment, right, I got into her face and I literally went like this to her. I was like, can I talk, please? Let me talk. Or something like that, right? And she was like, okay, talk, like that. And I said so, and I literally said to her in her face, I don't know why I said this, I clearly knew what the problem was, but I wasn't thinking straight because I was getting angry, right? I was getting pissed off, right? Because she's coming in my face shouting and this and that. So then I got into her face and I was like, what is your problem, right? I was like, what is your problem? And then she said to me, oh, is this girl retarded, right? And keep in mind, right, I don't know, like, some of the shit that I said, yeah, was kind of like messed up, I guess, because it's like, why would you say that? But at that time I wasn't thinking, and the thing is, I didn't mean it. I was annoyed, I was in the sun, you know, I was pissed off, I wanted to go home, and so I just turned around and I said that. And yeah, and I know to some people that may not be like a good enough excuse for why I said that. I completely understand. To this day, I still take the blame for it. Like, I'm not gonna stand there and be like, okay, you know, I didn't, you know, what I said wasn't messed up, because I know it was messed up, you know. I'm not those type of people. Like, I'm a type of person where I know where I went wrong, I'm gonna take accountability for it, and I'm gonna, you know. And so, you know, she said that, and keep in mind, right, we're in a school full of, you know, disadvantaged people who, you know, are not as privileged as us to be able to speak, walk, or, you know, whatever, right? They're not as privileged as us. So the fact that she said that in a school like this was like, okay, now we're equally messed up with what we said, okay? So, you know, at some point, a teacher that I've known for years gets in between us, and I look at him and I'm like, what the, is her problem? And then he looks at me nodding, like telling me no, like that, because he knows I'm getting annoyed and he knows, this is not the time right now. So then in my brain, I was like, you know what? I've had enough. It's hot. I'm not in the mood to fight with anyone. I'm going. So then I go and she's still screaming, being like, okay, fuck off, like, like swearing and, telling me to go away and this and that. Like, if I'm not going to pay, go away and this and that. And she was like, oh, simple, like that and blah, blah, blah. Just speaking the shit, right? And so I'm walking and I'm just brushing her off. Like, I'm literally doing this, like brushing her off, like telling her, hey, leave me alone, stop, like leave me alone. So I carry on walking and then I hear one of the teachers are chasing after us, right? Because all my friends come with me. They're all pissed off as well. They're all pissed off as well. They're all coming with me, making sure I'm okay and stuff. And then I hear one teacher trying to catch up with us and she was like, Samantha, like hold up, like wait. And so I stop, I look at Miss and then I don't know why I still kept saying this because I knew what the situation was, but I don't know. And so I'm like looking at her and I'm like, what's her problem and this and that. And even my friend, I'm not gonna say her name, but even my friend was like, oh, like what's her problem, like she didn't need to do that and blah blah. So I explained the whole situation to Miss. I start crying because sorry, I just noticed I had dry skin. So yeah, I explained the whole situation to Miss. I'm like basically pretty much crying out of anger and annoyment because the thing is, right, the whole day was so nice, it was okay, it was hot but it was okay. And so I'm just like, I didn't mean to say what I said and this and that. And then fast forward, right, we get put into the same room to basically kind of deal with the situation and blah blah. Tell me why I was the only person in that room, right, who took accountability, who took, responsibility for what I said and what I did. But tell me why this girl decided to sit there with a fucking stick up her ass, acting like she didn't say anything messed up as well. Like, I know I was in the wrong, but like the way she approached me, the way that she dealt with the situation, what she called me, like come on, like you can't just sit there and be like, okay, well, sorry for calling you this, like sorry that I came up to you shouting like this, and just taking accountability. But she didn't do that, right? And I full believe that she sat there and really thought she was in the right. I honestly do. But the thing is, right, I was in the wrong. Yeah, I had no right to sit there and be like, okay, yeah, I didn't do anything wrong. Because I know I did. At some point, right, the teacher that I've known for like years, right, he sat there and because he was sitting on the ground, I don't know, he was sitting on the ground. He sat there, right, and he admitted that, he thought that the girls would do a pretty good job at because apparently he set them not a task, but like he set them like a mission, I guess, to ask me if I'm playing or not. But he didn't know that it was going to turn out the way that it turned out, right? And he had no idea that that's how the girl was going to handle the situation, because apparently she was supposed to handle it a little bit more better than the way that she did, but she didn't, and he didn't know that was going to happen. And so he also took responsibility for even, I guess in some respects, lending his job to them or something like that. But so basically that's my fight. That it's been a couple months now, but there was another incident where it was another fight, but it wasn't between me and her, it was between my friend and her. And after that fight, we never saw her again. She clearly said that, she didn't care about the internship and this and that. But then what I didn't understand was, if you didn't care about the internship, that could have been someone else's spot. Someone else could have been, getting the job and all these things, right? Like, she basically wasted their time when that could have been someone else's spot and they could be getting a job right now. Like, she kind of wasted their time. And so she made that very clear when we never saw her again, right? We never saw her again. And when we never saw her again, I was so happy. Like, every time I saw her in the class, I used to get so stressed because she was the type of girl where she was very easily pissed off, and you didn't know like when when she was gonna erupt. Yeah, you never really knew when she was gonna erupt or start a fight again. And yeah, and so every time she was in the class, I was stressed, and not even. And I think partly the reason why I was stressed because I was still embarrassed from that day and the things I should be embarrassed. And because I mean, it never even had to go that way, but it did. And yeah, and the thing is, a lot of people on that day did take, you know, faults for it, except for her. But you know, some people on that day did take faults for it, you know, that, you know, it should have never gone that way, and so many things, you know, so many things. But yeah, that's the first fight that I had at that school, which I didn't want to have a fight with anyone, but it happened anyway. So yeah, that's the story of the fight. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. This is supposed to be an update video, but I feel like this is just a video of me like ranting. But this is clearly, you know, this is just me, you know, getting everything out in the open, telling you guys what's happened and this and that. But I'm trying to remember if there's like anything else I need to update you guys on. Except for like, you know, on Monday I'm starting my new job. Tomorrow I'm getting my uniform. I'm trying to remember if there's anything I need to tell you guys. I know there is one thing, but I don't know if I am mentally ready to talk about it. I don't know. At some point in the future, I might talk about it, or I might even end up just saying it now. But the biggest part of like my update to my life is just me. You know, I know I've mentioned this a few times in like all my different videos and stuff, but you know, I've really been taking the time, you know, for myself. Partly because, should I just say it? Because I mean, you guys are gonna eventually know, and you know, you guys are my audience. You guys mean everything to me, and I know later down the line, I know I'm gonna thank you guys, you know, so much for, you know, how much of an impact you've been on my life. But I don't know if I should talk about it yet, because it is a pretty like sensitive thing for me, like mentally, and it is about my mental health as well. But yeah, you could say that I'm basically just taking the time for myself, like trying to love myself again, because I did recently go through something very tough that I didn't think was gonna happen, but did happen anyway. And that was just fully because I put so much trust and faith into this, you know, one thing that just decided to just, you know, without, you know, any signs or whatever. And yeah, but I mean, it's the past now. I'm not going to talk about it, but at some point in the future I will, you know, talk about, you know, what's going on. As I was trying to say, I will at some point, you know, talk about what's going on up here, but just not now, because I know if I talk about it, it's going to trigger a lot of people. But I just want to say that if you're suffering with any type of mental health or problems or anything in life, I want you to know that you're a very strong individual if you've gotten this far in life. And you know, just have faith in yourself. Just be strong. You know, if you're having a bad day, be the one, you know, to make it better. Be the one to, you know, just be the one to be the sugar in your life. You know, I know that sounds so cringe to say or weird to say, but you know, when your life is just feeling very bitter, just be the sweet one to, you know, just make everything better. Like, I know it's tough, but you know, you're gonna get through it. You know, if you're going through anything, you're gonna get through it, because that's just how strong you are. I'm not gonna swear because I don't want this video, you know, even though in my other videos, you know, but yeah, that's just what I want to say. I just want, you know, my audience and anyone out there who's going through a hard time to know that you're strong. Yeah, you're strong. I don't know what else to say, but you're strong. Have faith in yourself. Believe that you can get through anything, and as long as you keep believing that, you're good to go. Because that's what I've been telling myself my whole entire life, is that yeah, I'm going through this mentally, but I'm still the most strongest girl, or the strongest woman there is. And I always tell myself that I'm a queen and that you're gonna get through it. You know, you're gonna get through it. And I know me saying that is not much, but you're gonna get through it. Trust me, you're strong as hell. You know, like, the haters can keep hating, but you're gonna keep blossoming, you're gonna keep growing. And yeah, but I think I'm gonna end the video here because I really can't think of anything that I need to update you guys on. But I just hope you guys have an amazing, lovely day. And please, if you've enjoyed this video, or this video has been any type of way interesting to you, please leave a like. And if you want to see more of me, please subscribe. You know, it really brightens my day when I see a new subscriber. And if you want to see more of this face, I do have an Instagram you can follow. And yeah, and I think I'll catch you guys in the next video.